Hey guys, today I'm going to show you an eyeshadow look especially designed for more of a hooded eye shape. If you don't know what a hooded eye shape is, it's when the skin just here kind of drops down and creates a hood over your lid space. So I would definitely put myself into the hooded eye category, and I know that my eyes aren't extremely hooded, and I'm quite lucky in the sense that my eyes are quite smooth. So obviously as you get older, your eyes can drop and they'll become more and more hooded. But if you look up closely, you can really see where this bit of skin here is actually sort of folding over and it's covering up my lid space, especially when I open my eyes and look straight ahead. So if I lift my brow, you can really see the difference that makes. As soon as I let go, this area of skin here is dropping over my lid. So this is where I've got hooded eyes. So when you're doing your eyeshadow, it's really important to understand the shape of your eyes, and then you can really learn and begin to understand how to place that eyeshadow to really help accentuate and bring your eyes out even more. You're really going to want to buff the eyeshadow sort of outwards and upwards. This is really going to help lift the eyes and make them look a lot wider and a lot bigger. First up, what I'm going to use is an eyeshadow primer, and it's really important to get a good primer that's going to help your eyeshadow stay on, because if you've got hooded eyes, there's more chance of it creasing because you've got that hooded area. It's going to be rubbing around a lot more when you open your eyes, and that's where the eyeshadow is really going to gather and start to crease. So I prefer to use a eyeshadow primer like this. So this is the MAC Paint Pot, and this really helps keep the eyeshadow on a lot longer. So rather than using like a concealer type of primer, I much prefer to use a paint pot because this really dries down and will help the eyeshadow stay in place all day. So I'm just taking a little bit of that primer on a flat brush, and this is actually just a Pan Shop brush, and I absolutely love it for my primers. It goes to show that you don't always need to spend a fortune on your makeup brushes. I like to start on the lid because I find this area is where your eyeshadow is going to crease more, and then I would just blend upwards and outwards and just make sure that there's sort of no line, so it's just seamlessly blending in to my foundation and concealer. So today I'm going to use the London Copyright eyeshadow palette, and this has got some really nice warm colours in there which are perfect for blue eyes because they're really complementary. They'll really bring out blue eyes more. So I'm going to use this, but I'm actually going to start with the Contour palette. This is a really nice palette for your skin, but I actually love to use some of the lighter shades through the crease as a transition shade as well. So with hooded eyes, you really want to start with a fluffy brush and take it on the outer edge and just sweep it right through the crease. But you're actually going to use this colour a little bit higher up. So this is just going to create like a new crease, and by applying it a little bit higher up, you're really going to be able to see that colour, and it's going to give the darker colours something to blend into. So as you can see, I'm just blending this and sweeping this upwards and outwards just to really help lift my eye shape. And by using matte colours, this is also going to create a little bit more depth, so you're going to get a lot more dimension across your eyes. So another tip that I love to use, especially for hooded eyes, is just to really stretch the eye when you're applying your eyeshadow, just to get a really nice smooth application. But it is important that you are checking throughout your makeup what you look like when your eyes are relaxed, because that's how people are going to be looking at you. So obviously when you relax your eyes, the skin is then going to drop, and you're going to want to see how your eyeshadow looks when your eye has dropped and how you look naturally. Next, I'm going to be using another MAC brush, but this is a slightly smaller blending brush this time. So this type of brush will work really well if you've got smaller eyes or if you're working on a smaller area. So I'm just going to take this shade here in the palette just to start smoking out my eyes a little bit more. So with the darker colour, again, I'm taking it slightly higher up, but not quite as high as the other shade that I've used, just because you want all the colours to really blend out nicely and just diffuse into a lighter colour. So I'm going a little bit lower down, but I'm really focusing it right in the crease, and I'm also going to pack it right onto the lid so it's nice and dark by my lash line. So I'm just taking what's left on the brush now, and I'm just sweeping up from my outer corners to really help pull that eyeshadow up and just really lift my eyes even more. I also keep switching back to my big blending brush just to really help soften up those edges. I'm then going in with a darker shade again, so this one is a little bit more of a deeper sort of warm toned brown, and this is in the shade Mischievous. Using a smaller brush again, this is the Morphe E18, and I'm just really packing this dark shade right on the lid just to give me a little bit more of a smoky effect. I'm now just going to add in this lovely shimmery golden shade, and I'm using more of a flat packing brush for this. Because this is a lighter shade, rather than blending, I'm kind of really packing and pressing this on because I want it to be as pigmented as possible. So I'm really just using sort of a pressing motion. And again with this one as well, I'm just taking it above the crease to create the illusion that my eyes look a lot bigger than they already are. I absolutely love putting eyeshadow underneath the eyes because it will really give your eyes more of a wider look again. So a really good tip if you've got more of a hooded eyes, make sure you're applying it underneath as well because it's really going to help widen your eyes. I also love to add a little bit of highlighter right in the inner corners, and by applying it in this inner part here rather than on the lid, you're really going to be able to see that pop of light a lot better when your eyes are open. So next up I'm going to be using some liquid liner because I know that this is something that you guys struggle with the most, and the key is with using liquid liner is to not go too heavy, because what's going to happen is you're going to just cover your whole entire lid space and you're going to make your eyes look a lot smaller. I'm just going to really carefully go little by little, so I'm creating a really nice thin precise line. Now you don't have to wing it out, but I'm going to give it a slight little wing today. So I'm just taking it from the outer corner upwards. This is really hard to do whilst filming, so I hope you can see what I'm doing. But I'm just now going to connect the top and the bottom together. When you're doing your wings with a hooded eye, you really need to make sure you're lifting this wing upwards and outwards, because if you go too straight, it's really going to start dragging the eye back down. So now I have done my liner, I'm just going to go in with a little bit of mascara, but I'm not going to use too much on the tops because I am going to apply some lashes today. I do always have a lot of clients tell me they don't apply mascara on their bottom lashes, but honestly it really does help open up your eyes even more. To finish off my eye makeup, I'm going to use some Prima lashes, and it is really important when you are picking your style of eyelashes, especially when you've got hooded eyes. So if you go for a lash style that goes slightly longer in the middle rather than on the outer edge, you'll notice that your eyes look a lot wider. So you can see here the lashes are a lot longer in the middle. This is going to be a really good lash shape for hooded shaped eyes. So I've just measured the eyelash to make sure that it suits the shape of my eye, and I'm just putting a little bit of glue on the lash now. But it is really important to make sure that you're trimming the lash to suit your width of your eye. Otherwise, if you have anything overhanging, it's really going to pull down and make your eyes look more droopy. While I'm waiting for the glue to dry, if you do struggle with false lashes, I did just recently do a full video on how to apply your lashes, and it gives you all the tips and tricks that you need to know to pop a strip lash like this on. Now the glue has gone tacky, I'm just going to look right down into the mirror and I'm just going to pop this lash on. So when you're applying your false lash, make sure you're getting the strip as close to your root of your lash as possible, because you really don't want to be taking up any unnecessary space and making your lids look even smaller. So that is the finished look. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video and learning all the tips and techniques on how to create eyeshadow looks for hooded eyes. I'm going to start doing requests for videos, so if there's anything that you're stuck on or you think that you would like to learn, please leave me a little comment down below and I shall see what I can do for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you in the next one.